What is it? It's still importing. Huh. Done. So you can see, like whenever you export anything from Quixel, it automatically that mesh import create a material, import all texture. Then make sure save it. That is something we could do it later also. I'm saving it. Reason being like there's like sometimes I'm facing electricity issues or what if it crashes or something. So then once you download that or like import that, then just drag, drop, place it there. F. You can see you have this entire clip here. So I can just simply create this entire mountain. So what I'm planning is scale up. These are all scans, so they are like quite nice detailed. Go to top view, place it there nicely. Make sure everything aligns properly. Then if I want, I can just simply duplicate one more time. If I want, I can duplicate one more time. That's what basically that's what I did. I duplicate it couple of times and created this entire structure. And Unreal by default, you can see by default Unreal like blends everything very nicely without much effort. So just make sure the borders should not be visible. Uh, like if I want to align, I could align. If I want to increase the scale, I can scale it nicely, rotate, and just fog, making things fog. Let's proceed that. Okay, so you can see the entire clear mountain. So this path I'll create. So before that, what I'll do is I'll create this entire design, like what I'm planning to create this entire structure, mountain kind of thing. I can scale this entire thing, make it huge. Then duplicate it this side. And these are not closed models. These are open models. So it can be viewed from only and only one angle. So that is something I have to keep in mind. So on the scale, I can scale it like this. Don't worry, I'll blend everything nicely. Okay. So like a Grand Canyon kind of some like thing, a structure I'm planning to create. So if I want, I can now like this. I have basically creating this structure, and now I'll just add a plane here. because I want to create a river or some this kind of thing. That is something I can create with this very easily. Or if I want, I can use some other rocks as well. So I'll go here. Let's see. Let's short by size. And there's nothing like this. Okay. 4 to 8 meters, 2 to 4 meters. Also strange. Okay, that is this one. I want to use this. So I can like maybe this can work as my base for like some river bed or something. I can use this or maybe something like this. So before that I need a plane. So what I can do is let's see, I'll create a surface. Okay, just I get this one I have already imported. Let's check. I guess I have already yeah, I have already imported this one. So I'll just simply drag, drop to this is the base bottom, scale it, place it nicely. This will act as my base. So repetition anyways won't be visible and because I'm going to add lots of like other structure like this I can like blend it nicely or I can add some other part here. Resize it, align it nicely. You can see layered mountain. That is something it's like quite natural and you can see it very like often in nature. Similarly, I have this one. You can see just two different types of rocks I'm using. See, then this one. This looks like next to river something. This is some lava expanding this thing. Oh, this looks nice. So I guess I have inputted this also. Just give me a second. Yeah, but you can see this is like quite tiny. So I can increase the scale, rotate it nicely, and this will act as my like this base for riverbed very easily. can blend things nicely here. Align it nicely. Rotate, push it down. Make sure the edges are not visible, so it will blend nicely. Similarly, if you want to create the section, you can either rotate it nicely or you can just simply translate it to 180 degrees. Okay. So like this, you can create this entire thing very easily. It's quite simple. Zoom in. So this is HLC. This is one rock I have used for my surface to make it like bit flatter, so that like, my character can work on that surface. Or if I want, I can like place something like this also here, like this, to give it a more natural appearance. So, and I covered this entire thing with rocks and all because this is a tunnel kind of thing, and we have the opening. So, and here this last one you can see it's again bending in other direction. So, what I did basically, I just took this one, this modular piece, flipped it in Z direction, and then used it. So, this one. You can see it's in scale in -1. I just flipped into Z this thing, X direction, and then used it just to make it just to rotate this. Alt, align, and like suppose I want to rotate this thing again, maybe -1 to 1. So here, X, and this time you can see it's again going to bend in this direction. So like this, you have to create all the modular piece and align everything and create a nice scene. By this, the scene will be highly optimized. This part is not required. So if I want, I can delete also. This rock also, I just I can delete here. This is part of this rocky part. Okay, like this, you can align nicely. You can create the entire scene. If I play it now, you can see this entire scene. So this side also have to create. So I have this tunnel. This gate part, this section is also pending, so I'll do it. Now you see, if you came here, oh, array, I have to convert, switch on my collision for this. Double click, open the file, go to general setting, this collision, complex collision to simple, and save it. It will convert everything into collision and then play it once again. So, if I Now I can walk on the surface. You can see this scene started to coming together, mountains and everything. So I can add more mountains and I can add river bed or some fountain, or maybe I can add more sci-fi structure or something and create a really nice scene out of it very easily. So it's just like I have to create all the basic structure properly and then create it. And like this mountain, it's available. All these clips available in Quixel, so you can use that, modify the color, do those things, or you can just simply create the basic structure, like what are the unique parts. So to create those things, the rest everything is used from that. And one more thing, you can see the color difference in both the material. It's quite evident. So what you can do is double click, open the material, and albedo. You can see albedo tint. There's an option called albedo tint. Switch off this. Click on this. There's a dropper. Go and click on this. You can see, and then make it a bit lighter. So it will become similar family. It becomes similar family. It looks nice and clean. Otherwise, it will look like, okay, this is like something odd and weird. Like suddenly the color changes. Like you would have lots of color variation in rocks and all, but make sure the drastic change should not be there. Then click on this, click on this, make it a bit lighter, maybe slightly more lighter. Slight difference you can have, more towards red. Like this, you can like to see. Now it blends together nicely. Save your scene, save all. Okay, so this is how like you can basically add all these modular pieces and combine basically your modular pieces and what is available in Quixel. Combine both of them and create an entire scene.
Sir,
Hmm.
in
But
industry we cannot use directly this, no sir.
in industry, if you use it, definitely you can use, but you have to either you have a license for a Quixel or you take that as a base model, then modify it. Change the texture, change the model a little bit, modify it a little bit, and then use it. It should not look exactly the same. And like you can see, after if I combine everything, so many rocks together, it won't look same, right?
But
You
we
have to
cannot
modify it. You cannot what?
we cannot modify, no sir. That
We can modify, na?
how we can use the flatten options like this. The sculpt.
You can modify suppose, okay, you have this one. So you want to suppose this model, this particular model, you want to modify. So I'll just save this and I open mixture. There's the mixture. Where is it? I guess pixel mixer is not installed next to this. Give me a second, let me check. It should be there. Okay, it's not there. I removed. Okay, I'll install it. So okay, that is something I'll show you. Like, suppose you have this model and you want to modify this to some other structure. Start downloading my mixture so I can show you that thing. Just give me a second. Okay, it's downloading. It will take some time to install. So next sample. It will take some time. So this is something I guess I can do it in tomorrow only. So that will show like how to modify this texture, how to modify and make it your own. You can do that also. Don't need to worry about that. That is completely possible. You can modify this entire thing. It will look entirely different. And plus, like suppose now we have this thing. Let's see. Open this material. We have this material. So I'll open where are the maps. So Rulmans have asked about the world coordinates. So you can use that technique here directly and create this thing very easily. Uh, this is your world align section. Okay. WA is basically world align. So open it. I want all these maps. For displacement we're not using. This is my base map. It's my base map for exact this pattern. Now I need a tileable map to use with world align. So I'll go to surface. Let's see, do I have any of this rock? Let's see some stone. Okay, we have this dirt snow. Let's combine these two. That will be nice. So these two are like normal and so snow is basically it's a tileable. This is non-tileable. So I took two. This is right now I'm showing how to create a world aligned texture. Like for that any model you have for that model you need to have a basic this map. Like for this, I'll just show you this one. So I have for this I have a specific texture that aligns with this thing. If I show you the UV, you can see exact map I have for this. You see, it's a scan and perfectly this map. It's not a tileable seamless map. It's not a procedural map at all. Right? This is clear, right? This is a unique texture for that particular clip. That's clear, right? Hello.
Sure.
Okay. This is non-tileable map. So to combine it with something else, I took one more map which is tileable. So one is non-tileable specific to that model. One is non-tileable, tileable. It's a generic texture. Maybe it can be another rock. It can be another
Yeah.
thing. Yes.
Sir, this method can be used for any props also.
This can be used for anything. Like suppose you want to create a huge scene. And in that scene, like you have, suppose in my scene, okay, I'll show you with the example. In my scene, I have this kind of cliff, right?
Yeah.
So if I have this, so it's basically same rock repeating, right? So if
Yes.
you pay really good attention, if you identify it's repeating again and again. So how to make it unique? So it's a huge scene. You're repeating your models with the same texture, but still it will look unique. How to create that? For that, I'll combine the unique texture with a stylable map. So combine both of them, and it will be world aligned to create that nice pattern. I'll show that in a minute. So now I have these two. So this is my texture. Keep it here. My right click. I have typed world align texture. Under miscellaneous, you have this option world align texture. Control W, Control W. So three. We have diffuse, normal, and roughness. So that's why we have three different maps. So for this, you can see we have to connect this thing to blend this with our actual texture. So for align any of the texture, you need to convert your texture into object. You can see, zoom in, you can see object, texture object. It's a 2D texture object. It's not at all like your normal texture sample. Right click, convert to texture object. Right click, convert texture object. Convert to texture object. Done. Then connect this to your texture. Texture, texture. Basic, basic thing is ready. But now you can see you have world position, you have world this texture size. Texture size basically size of this map, like amount of tiling. So to control all three together, I need to have a parameter. So here I have like one parameter for this, one parameter for this, one parameter for this. So one x y z, 1 2 3. So for this, what I'll do is I'll create a three vector parameter. So press 3 from your keyboard and left mouse button. It will create 0 0 0 3 vector parameter. Right click, convert to parameter. You can name oh sorry underscore styling. You can name it like this, and this entire thing will go to size, size, size. So like whatever you will change here, it will automatically change all three in correct proportion, because this I'm not using RGB, I'm using the RGBA, the complete one. So everything will be aligned properly. So now this section is combined. So I'll show you the basic setup, like what happens if I connect this to this color, and I have to use XYZ, not XY, not Z, not so I have to use XYZ, normal to normal, and roughness to roughness. It's connected directly. There's nothing fancy. You see one parameter to control this, and this all this map. So one thing you have to keep in mind, your world is basically in physical scale. So you have to increase the tile a lot. Right now it's 0 0 0. That means it's not tiling at all. So you have to increase the tiling according to your scene. The scene in meters. It's quite huge. So what I'll do, I'll make it like 1000, 1000, 1000. 1000. So like quite huge. That means it's tiling 1000 times. Connect this, save it. So it's like everything is connected, and now I'll go to my this thing. Here is my WA texture. Select this map. I'll create an instance also so that I don't have to create an instance later. Select this one. Go to your scene. So suppose for this particular rock, I want to apply. Uh, okay, I'll just create a separate scene altogether. That will be nice. So I don't want to mess up my actual scene. New level, default, delete, rock. So create this something like this. Okay, let me check. I'll add a post process infinite, and this is something, these settings you have to do no matter what. You have to add a post process 1 1. So this is your actual lighting. Until now, unless you add a post process, you won't be able to see this. Let's rotate towards the light, and maybe I want to create some more variation, or so I have this like layered mountain kind of thing, and all are exact same model, exact same texture, right? That's kind of clear to us, right? So I'll go select all the maps, all the models, select everything, go to select my instance, or you can just simply drag and drop it here. So you can see everything is same, and everything is aligned, and texture you can see here directly. So now what this world align will do, if you see, if I move my model, it basically changing the texture,
Yes,
because
sir.
based on, yes,
Sir, but
hello,
how to blend it with the thing? Uh, Another texture.
how to some, I'm not able to, you're not audible, I'm not able to understand, say it again.
How to blend it with another texture?
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm going to show. So this is basically aligns with the world. So no matter what, like in which direction your texture, your model is, it will automatically align to the world, like world direction. It will align with that. But now you want to align with your actual texture. Like this is a tileable texture, right? So, but now you want to attack, you want to have the unique texture, and plus you want to align, like add some other texture to it. So how to
Uh,
combine two textures in Unreal? Yes, tell me.
so this can be used for terrain also.
Yeah, this can be used. Terrain, like landscape material works differently. So if you want to create the terrain, like if you want to create simple texture and like this, you have to want to create terrain, then it's fine. But if you want to create a landscape, like landscape, try to use landscape material for that, not this thing. And top of that, you can have multiple rocks and pebbles and all those things, and use this on that. So it will basically blend everything together. That's why we have a separate tool for landscaping, because it's highly optimized. Like you work for bigger scene. Like you suppose you have a huge scene, so for that landscape works beautifully without any error, without lag. But if you want to use like thousands of mesh there and then go use create terrain, then it will create a lag and FPS reduce in FPS. So make sure you use the terrain, this landscape, then top of it to create it unique, add other models. Like other models will create the specific design and pattern. So this is like all tileable. So I don't want this. Forget about this thing now. So now I have this unique texture. So it should basically come. So I have to combine these two textures together. But to combine these two together, I need to have a alpha, because how it will combine. So that alpha, I can have the alpha as world align, or I can have the alpha as unique. Unique. So let's see. I guess I might have some mask map here. Let's see. Texture, mask, some tileable mask. So I'm just searching for some tileable mask. So you can see these are all basically tileable masks. So I can use any one of them. And the mask you can download from Quixel, or you can download it from like Substance also have lots of procedural masks. You can download from export that from Substance, use it here, or you can download some tileable seamless mask. Like suppose let's go to Google, dirt map. Search for dirt map in Google image seamless. So you have lots of seamless tileable maps. You can see these are, so mask is basically a black and white map. So I can use any of them, like something like this. So I want more contrast. It should be like full like white, full black, so that I can blend two textures very nicely. So I can download something from here, or I already have something here. So it works. It's a bit cloudy. So let me search even more. Okay, let's use this one only. Texture, place it here. So this will act as my mask to blend these two. All the white area will be expose these texture. All the black area will expose these texture. So to combine any texture, this is I explained previously also lots of times. I am going to use a linear interpolation or LERP node. L, left mouse button, click. So love frequency by default is 0, 1.5. So by default, alpha is 0.5. Anything you apply to A is texture A, B is texture B. And alpha is like how you blending it. So to have A and B. So this is my B and this is my A. Connect this to B. Love. So one more love. A, B goes to normal. Love. One more time. This is my B. This goes to A. And this goes directly to my roughness. So right now, by default, alpha is 50% gray. The output will be combination of both the texture. But so I'll just save it and show you what is the difference. Save. Either save or apply. Any one of them you have to click, otherwise the result won't be visible on your level. Then you can see if you zoom in your material, you can see some part you can see this texture, some part you cannot see the texture. Go to your, see, it's 50%, so 50-50 of both of them, so it blends automatically. 50%, but I don't want automatic this thing. You see, if I rotate, you can see this texture, it stays there only. No matter what I do, where I move my model, it stays there. So now I want to apply this with this alpha. So this alpha, if I want, I can pair with this, or I can apply a separate tiling for this. That's totally up to me. So let's do it without tiling first. So right now, all the white area will expose this part, all the black area will expose this part. So alpha is, alpha, how alpha works, it's a black and white map. So black will, black in Photoshop, you create texture, so a black becomes transparent, white becomes visible. So exact same thing happening here. Let me save this. So all the area are black. It will exclude this part, the texture completely. All the area which is white, it will show this part 100%. Now you can see entire result quickly. Go to this thing. Now you have this. So you can see this texture is not world aligned, this brown texture, but this white texture is world aligned. It moves. Now, suppose you want to
Sir,
align this
sir, how to
what?
control
Styling.
the no not tiling, sir. Like suppose if we add opacity.
If you add opacity, you want to control opacity, well, like but rock, why you will have opacity in that? I didn't understand exactly. Like opacity of this map.
Yeah.
That okay. You want to control the like strength of the map, right? That's what you meant.
Yes.
Okay. So for that, to control that, I'll use a multiply node. Connect this to A and this to B. This section. Oh, sorry. Oh, my mistake. Oh, control Z. This to alpha. This to alpha. This to alpha. And like now all the alpha using a multiply node. Now use a scalar parameter. Press S and left mouse button. And this is to control your mask. Mask. Name it mask. Default value is 1 always. And connect this to B. So with the help of this, you can control the intensity of this particular map. So let's see, let's do that. Save it. Let's save. Now go here and I have applied an instance here. So I can double click and open my instance. And you can see instantly I have this world tiling parameter plus this mask. So if I want to increase, you see, I can change this intensity of this mask very easily. So with that, we can change it, this entire opacity of the mask. Like if you want to, you can see, you can make it dark, you can make it light, you can change things. It's basically controlling your this mask. And if you want to check the output, right click, start preview. It will show you the preview. And this is like 1. If you make it like 2, you can see instantly, you can see this one is more brighter, more contrast, less contrast. So with this you can control this very easily. Stop preview. So like this you can control the alpha, like opacity and all. Now suppose you want to apply a tile, or maybe you want to like control this entire thing with wall align, so you can do that as well. Control W, duplicate it here, control it to texture, but you can see it's not an object, so you cannot do it. Right click, convert texture object, connect to texture, XYZ to A, and this styling is here, or maybe you can create a separate node for this also. So now this alpha is world aligned and this is not world aligned, and you have this controller for the contrast, or you can see there's an option for cheap contrast option, miscellaneous. So you can use a contrast node also. This does the exact same thing. Darkens. You can add a parameter here. In is basically it goes here in, and result goes out, and you can have this parameter here. So it basically does the exact same thing. It increases or decreases the contrast. So you can either do this,
Okay, sir.
right? So this is also you can do very
Yes, sir.
easily. So once you're done with this, then save it. You can see most of the time I'm using multiply, linear interpolation, all those things, and because most of these things can be controlled with the help of love or all these things very easily. Now my alpha is world aligned. So you can see my alpha is world aligned, so I can just simply move anything, rocks. I want rocks. I can align it here. I can increase my tiling. I can reduce my tiling. You see, I can reduce XYZ, stretch. I can do all those things together and create this entire aligning. So what will happen with the help of this? I have this basic structure, proper texture, then combined with this snow. So it makes your life very easier, because vertex paint will be very expensive. So we won't use vertex paint. We can use linear interpolation with the help of any of the masks. Or if you want, you can create a mask in Substance, bring it here and use it. You can do that as well. Mask is a black and white map, so you can create it very easily. You can align this very nicely wherever you want to see. Based on the position in the world, the texture changes. It basically projecting on the surface on this, like from your camera angle, basically world position. The styling in front, the tiling all over this thing, so that I can just create this thing very easily. Mask can increase, decrease nicely. You can change things and modify things, so like create those things. And if you want to make have more controller, you can have similar with multiply. You can add on roughness. You can add tiling separately for texture. You can add normal, smooth, soft. Make it flat normal. Flat normal. You can apply all those things. You can apply. So there's no limit to complexity. You can add things, or then add all these details. It is quite easy to create a variation. Now you can see this doesn't look like your actual model. The actual model texture is entirely different. This looks entirely different. So you can create these things very easily, and this won't look like your actual model. And because throughout, none of the model, none of the part looks similar. Everything looks separate. Looks like you can see these two doesn't look similar. Looks so entirely separate model, separate thing. Texture is entirely different. So that like this also you can do it. You can modify things very easily.
Sir,
Yes.
can you show that again tomorrow also, how to make
Oh,
landscape use texture with
okay.
multiple
Okay. I'll show.
texture and then speed tree
Okay.
also, sir.
Okay. I'll show the speed tree as
In
well, and
form of
landscape how to be.
trees.
Yeah. Okay. I'll show that. No need to worry. I'll show that. Okay. Let me check the attendance quickly because there's not enough time. Akshay is present. Anirudh. Let me see. Anirudh is not there. Anshuman is here. Ashwin is also here. Nitin is also here. Okay. Darshan Dilip is also here. Nice. Rohit is also here. I will ask you someone Nitin Kishore, Sai Putra, Shiva. Shiva is also here. Nice. Puneet not here. Okay, Rajvi is not here. Roman Samikram. Sonam not here. Sujan Karan. Shiva. Yes, one of them. Shiva. And submit your files. I have created a submission folder and I have uploaded the latest file also, and so you can use that. And like use this technique, use megascan. You have to create a basic structure by yourself, and you can use megascan to set dressing, like to dress your scene, to beautify your scene, not to create an entire model. You can use it to create a unique as you can use like in my scene. I have, you can see I have downloaded a couple of rocks and few all these things. So to create some interesting element to create, so to set dressing. So that's just to make my set more interesting. I have downloaded a couple of models. I can use that, and rest everything I'll create. I'll model it. So it will be a unique asset to my unique scene. So make sure combine both the things, like use creative your main whatever you're creating, it should be the hero of your scene. Rest everything you can reuse from Megascan. Use textures and Quixel. I'm installing this mixture. I'll show the technique how to modify the existing models and textures within Quixel and create something unique out of it. I'll show that also. See, and work on it and submit your files, and yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sir, landscape we can edit now, sir. Flatten and use this.
Landscape you can.
We can edit now, sir, in that flatten and sculpting.
Yes, yes, definitely. Landscape we have
Like
to
that,
edit.
we
You have
can
to
edit
create it like
this
that.
mega scans.
No, like that you cannot edit your Megascan model. A model, if you have to change, you have to import into ZBrush or Max or Maya somewhere and then modify it. But you cannot change it. You can modify the texture. Megascan is all about textures and scan models. So, or if you want to create something unique, then you have to model it. And
Then
landscape you have to sculpt it.
pixel mixer is for
Question is
pixel
for
mixer
texturing basically.
texturing.
Yes, it's for texturing. It creates all the materials automatically, so it makes the life way easier. If you see, like if in my scene, don't see it. In my scene, like everything has created. I just imported this models and textures and placed it here. So I can create a backdrop of my scene. This is my actual scene, and this is a backdrop for my scene, so that my entire scene looks nice. So I'm planning to create a bridge or like extend this to this side also. So I'll create that thing. It will be a huge scene. I can walk through and try to create a walkthrough out of it. So the pixel for set dressing beautify your scene. It's not for like you can use and create a prototype very easily. So prototype, because otherwise you have to create all this model manually. You can use it and create all those things. And this looks quite nice. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you. Okay. Bye.